All right. So I put out this question, how to spot a narcissist in dating, because I was doing an interview. Last week, I was on a online TV show, and that was the topic. And it's the most common question that I get asked all the time. So, in this group and on my main Facebook page, I got so much feedback all around this question. So I think I have, I don't know, at least 20 questions around how to spot a narcissist in dating. And again, it is the number one question that I get asked all the time. So I said, how about I put a series together? How about I put, with our Tuesday live lunch lessons, I incorporate this topic and all the questions that came along with it to give to you the answers that you're looking for. So as always, I'm 100% truthful with you. I don't sugarcoat shit with you. I want you to know the truth because I've been where you're at. I'm on the other side, and I want you to experience what it feels like to be on this side too. Okay. And if you're a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you understand that spotting people that don't have empathy is an important skill to foster. And I think it's a great topic for those who are recovering. When you agree, give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. And to answer this question, it's always going to be the same coming from me. Again, I don't sugarcoat shit. I give you the truth. And the answer is you must heal from the past narcissistic abuse you've experienced. And then you'll never attract a narcissistic partner again. Period. That's it. That's the answer. How do you spot a narcissist? You heal from the past experiences that you've been in. That's it. But I'm going to give you the answers. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get this going. I'm going to give you the answers that you could probably get if you just Googled this question, right? If you research this question. And the number that you could Google by getting this answer, the number one thing to solve this problem is to heal from it. That's it. Heal. All right. And I don't like giving the BS roundabout answers that you could find on Google, because to me, that's a waste of time and I'm not serving you. You're not getting what you really, really need. But I'm going to go through these questions and I'm going to answer them for you. And also, if you're going to get the answers to the questions like, what are the red flags? What are the yellow flags? What are the green flags? How do you trust your intuition? How do you set boundaries for connection and safety? How do you discern the difference between love bombing and genuine displays of affection? How do you remove yourself from the relationship without becoming immersed in drama? What are the signs of love bombing? What is considered too much attention too soon? Is it possible for a narcissist to change? So again, I have a plethora of questions that I'm going to answer for you. I'll dive into as many as I can. If you want to get some one-on-one coaching with me in these lives, then you'll have to join by Zoom. So you'll have to get on my email list, get the email, and let me know if you want to do that, because I can, when you join by Zoom, I can put you, like you and me, side by side, and I'll coach you. And I'll coach you for whatever's coming up for you. Okay, so if you're not on my email list, DM me right now with your email address, and I will put you on the list so that you can receive this via email, and then you can join by Zoom. Okay? All right, my loves. So let's get started. How do you spot a narcissist in dating? Let's get into it. What questions do you have around this? How do you spot a narcissist in dating? Let me know. I want to hear what your questions are. I'm going to start with, what are the red flags? That's the first one I'm going to start with, because when you can go, when you recognize it so crystal clear, and you go ding, 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 ding. That's huge for you. That is huge for you. So that is one question that I wanted to start with. All right. So here we go. How do you spot a narcissist in dating? All right. Awesome. We got somebody on the Zoom. Yay. All right. So what are the red flags? First, I want to share with you that you know that you've gotten hits before. You know that you felt something's off with this person or this conversation or this energy or what this person, like, why is this person saying this? You've gotten intuitive hits. Women tell me all the time, I saw the red flags. I ignored them. And I did too. I'm not excluding myself from this at all. What happens is what commonly happens, and I'm going to explain this deeper for you because I want you to clearly get it. What commonly happens is that when you get an intuitive hit, you go into either one, making excuses for that person, or you say, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm having an off day. Or you think, oh, this person has, they have everything that I'm looking for in dating, like a resume. Check, check, check. So that's when the excuses come in. That's when you maybe say, it's me. Maybe I'm having a bad day, or whatever else comes up after that. But here's what's happening. Here's what's really happening. Your ego, your mind. So for all of us in this human form, we all have this battle going on between us. Heart, mind, heart, mind, heart, mind. The head says something, the heart says something else, right? And it's like this tug of war. And so when you get an intuitive hit, that is your body, that is your heart speaking to you. Then the ego goes in and says, well, maybe it's you, maybe you're having a bad day, and he's got everything that you want. Don't be so picky, blah, 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 blah. So then you ignore the red flag, or you make excuses for the red flag, and then you continue to have this relationship with this person, and then later on you find out what actually happened. Does that resonate with you? Let me know either in the chat or on the Facebook in the comments below if this is resonating with you. And if you're listening on replay, hashtag replay. So this is where, all right, so there's the problem. How do we solve it? So there has to be within you to know the difference between, is this the voice in my head, or is this an intuitive hit? Is this my gut, or is this my ego trying to butt in and be like controlling or nosy, or keep me in my safety, or keep me in the familiar energies that I've been around my entire life, i.e., that's why you need to heal from the narcissistic abuse, because these energies that come to you, they are familiar. They are familiar from your past. So it's comfortable, unfortunately. And so there again is why you make excuses or you ignore it, and you continue to have this relationship with somebody. So how do you distinct what is the voice in your head versus what is your heart or your body talking to you? So one of the first things that comes up for me to share with you is, girl, you got to trust yourself. You got to trust your gut. You got to trust your intuition. Bottom line, you have to trust yourself. And this is the biggest freaking issue that I went through, that women tell me that they go through when I get on calls with women and they say no to my offer, even my lowest offer of $37 a month, because they don't trust. They don't trust that this will work for them. They don't trust that this is the right fit. They don't trust they can do it. So trust is a big issue. So once you trust yourself, this is where you're going to know the difference between what is this voice coming in versus what is this message. when you trust yourself. And the reason why trust is such a big issue is because time after time after time after time after time, you've been proven, you've been shown by the world, by the people around you, by your family, that they don't deserve to be trusted, that you have to keep one eye open around them, that you have to question their every move because you've been betrayed, you've been lied to, you've been duped, you've been all those things in the past by these same people or people like them. So once you can master trusting in you, this is when the red flags come up, you will, boom, there won't be a question in your mind. You know, this is a message coming through. I'm getting an intuitive hit that something's off with this person. So this visual is coming in my head, so I got to share it. So when I was dating, I went on this date with this guy, and when I was dating, I didn't have a dating coach. I was taking advice from my friends who don't have a freaking clue of how to date because they were all married or they were divorced. No clue. But what did I know? I had been married for 22 years. The last time I was dating was in the 80s, where there was no apps, there was no sites, there was none of that. So times had changed so much. So I go on this date with this guy. So one of the pieces of advice that I was getting from my friends was, Denise, it doesn't matter what he looks like. It doesn't matter. It just only matters how he treats you. That's all that matters, is how he treats you. So basically, it doesn't matter what he looks like. It doesn't matter if he has a job. It doesn't matter if blah, 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 blah. All that matters is how he treats you. That was the advice I was getting. So I go on this date. I meet this guy at Starbucks in North Hills, Raleigh, in North Carolina, here where I live. And immediately I'm not my type at all. Not my type. But I go through the motions because of two things. One, the voice of my friends is in my head. It just matters how he treats you. And the other voice in my head is saying, don't be rude. If you just walk off, that's rude. It's okay, ladies, to be rude. It's okay. It is okay. You owe nobody nothing. In that moment, I should have said, oh, gotta go. Got an emergency call from blah, blah, blah. Gotta go. Bye. Talk to you later. I should have. But those two voices were in my head. So I go on this date with him at Starbucks. We meet for coffee. And like I said, immediately I was like, he's not my type. So immediately I've disconnected. I'm not engaged in this conversation with this guy. I don't want to be here. I want to leave. I want to get the fuck out, is the truth. I go through the motions. We get coffee. We sit down and he's staring at me with these eyes. And they were fucking creepy as shit. And it was like he was staring through me. And I was like, what the fuck? I need to get out of here. This guy is weird. Creepy vibes. The vibes is the same thing as your intuitive hit. It's the same thing as your intuition, the vibes that you're getting. Okay. People word it in different ways. It's all the same. The vibes I was getting is this guy is creepy, like this guy would be like one of those people you see that has a whole room of pictures of women that he's killed. That's the vibe I got from this guy. So I share this story with you to say, one, the minute that you get a hit that this person is not for you, walk the fuck away. You owe nobody nothing. You don't need to stay to be nice because you're a people pleaser. That's another thing. People pleasing. That's a whole nother topic. But you don't need to do that. You owe nobody nothing. You only owe to yourself. Okay, so there's that. The other thing is it's a wasted time for you and the other person because you're not engaged. This isn't going to go anywhere. If you're immediately like, why waste everybody's time? You're doing yourself a favor, you're doing the other person a favor. Okay. So the date ended with, just a coffee date, and yeah, I'll see you later. And like I never talked to him again. Which could be perceived as mean, but guess what? I don't owe him anything. You don't either. Move on. Okay. So this is how you start to, what are the red flags? You know the red flags. You get an intuitive hit. You get a vibe. You get an energy. You get it. Your body does not lie to you. Your body will always tell you the truth. It's what happens when you get the red flags. You know the red flags. What do you do after you get the red flags, right? Do you check out, or do you go through the motions? Are you a people pleaser? Do you not want to be rude? You don't owe anybody anything. Don't waste your time. Okay. So does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Does that make sense of what are some of the red flags? Like, yeah, hoarding the conversation is one of them. Like another date I had, and all he talked about was his invention and him. And then I'm sitting there and I'm having a drink and I'm like, I haven't gotten a word in yet. This guy doesn't even know, like, nothing. Again, that's a sign. That's a red flag. Hoarding the conversation, flirting with the staff, the servers, saying things like, I think I like you too much. These are my own experiences that I'm sharing with you. I think I like you too much. And I was like, the fuck? How do you like me too much? You don't even know me, right? These are the red flags of a narcissist. Okay. But the biggest red flag that you're always going to get is in you, your intuition, your gut, the vibe, the energy. That's what's going to tell you, ooh, red flag here, red flag. And then when you get the red flag, you don't need to justify it. You don't need to make an excuse for it. You just need to know you got a red flag. Move it. Move it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste anybody's time. Get out. But again, the biggest thing is to heal from narcissistic abuse in relationships. Okay. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Okay. So let's go to question number 2. Let me know if that was clear. If you want more clarity on that, let me know as well. Let me know if that landed with you. Also, let me know if it didn't land with you. If you need some more talk through that, let me know. And I'll go over it again. All right. So let's talk about, how do you trust your intuition? Well, I kind of just went over that just now, right? How do you trust your intuition? And the biggest thing that I can say is, how do you trust your intuition is practice. Practice, 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 practice. So start with the small things, like when you're driving and you get an intuitive hit, go to the right lane. And you're like, why? And you're having a conversation in your head, why do I need to go to the right lane? There's nothing, like, I'm fine. Do it. Practice with the little things. Get in the right lane, see what happens. This is how I practice. Okay. Because in 2014, when I was at my first mastermind in California with my first business coach, the biggest thing that she said to me was, you have to learn how to trust yourself, Denise. I was like, yeah, well, I've already done a lot of things that I had trusted myself with, like leaving that relationship and moving 3 states away with nothing but a futon couch and an air mattress. I manifested $10,000. I trusted myself with signing on to a 1-year program with my business coach that her payment was pretty much my rent. I trusted myself with getting this airline ticket and getting to California for the first time in my life and getting to this mastermind because I knew I needed it. So I had already done a lot of things that I had trusted myself and my intuition to do and followed through with that. I took the actions, but there's always deeper layers. There's always a layer more that you can go. So when she said to me, you have to trust yourself, and we did this exercise, I hung this up in my office, in my other office that I had, and I had it in front of me and I looked at it every single day and it said, trust yourself, trust yourself. And I embedded it in my head, trust yourself, trust yourself. I'm still working on trusting myself completely, right? But I've come a long way with that because I had that in front of my face and I have worked on this trust. So let me explain trust to you. If you don't know, trust is a muscle inside of you. This is how I view it anyway. And the reason why I say it's a muscle inside of you is because think of a baby. Think of a young child. If you're a parent, then you know you got to teach, or you have to teach your child not to talk to strangers, not to go with the creepy guy with the van or the puppy. Why? Because we were born trusting. You intuitively know how to trust yourself. You do. You know how to trust yourself. You were taught how not to trust yourself. And trusting your intuition is not trusting yourself, right? You were taught this time and time again through little ways, like there's a tractor going down my street. In little ways, and I'm going to give you an example of that, and then in big ways. So the little ways could be like, it's a story that I always share. It's this mom had a 4-year-old son. This was many years ago. I was on a call with her and she had a huge aha moment while we were on a call together. And she said, oh my God, I do that to my son. So they were at the store and he was good at school. So she said, okay, so you pick out a lollipop because you were really good in school this week. And I want to reward you with being good in school. So at 4 years old, we know what we want. We don't question ourselves. So he immediately picked up the flavor he wanted and he was excited. And he was like, let's go, Mom. I'm ready to check out. I want to open this up and have that flavor on my tongue. And Mom says, are you sure? Are you sure you want that flavor? Ooh, look, they have this flavor and this flavor and this flavor. Are you sure you want that flavor? This is your favorite flavor. So here's where the seeds of doubt are planted in our heads at a very young age. Mom didn't mean to teach her son how not to trust. And not everybody, but most parents don't mean to do it either. It's unintentional. So what happens is the boy goes, in his head, he thinks, that is my favorite flavor. Mom is right. Mom loves me. I do trust Mom. Okay. He puts down the flavor he picked out and he chose the one that his mom. And you probably have stories going on in your head right now, time and time again, where there was a similar situation like that, where you trusted somebody else's opinion of what you should do or not do versus your own, right? Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if this resonates with you. If you're thinking of stories, write in the chat, story. Yes, story. I'm thinking of a story. College comes to mind. How many kids say, I want to go to college for whatever? And the parents say, no. You're going to college for this because I'm this, your dad's this, your grandparents are this, your ancestors, back to many, like we've all been this. You're going to college for this. You're not going to college for that. And I'm not paying for college for that. I'm paying for college for this. So what happens? Your back up is up against the wall and you feel like, okay, maybe they're right. They have nice houses, they have money, I'm going to go to college for that. And what happens, right? There's many stories around somebody persuading you, whether it was intentional or unintentional, and that's how you lost your trust within you. That's how you lost the trust within you. So how do you trust your intuition? just that. You know, you get the hit, you get the intuitive hit, you get the vibe, trust yourself, and you go with it. Even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it doesn't make sense. Okay, so here's what speaking of trust, here's what I have for you. I'm doing another trust workshop, September 1st. I wanted to invite you. I don't have all the details ready yet, but this is how to trust again after divorce from a toxic marriage workshop. This is an intense 3-hour workshop, and I want to invite you to it. It's completely free. I should be charging for this. I really should be, but I'm doing it for free. This is discover how you can now trust yourself. In this workshop, you're going to learn how to implement boundaries, stop the people pleasing, trust yourself again, get the respect you deserve. That's a big one in these past relationships that you've been in, right? Receive a loyal partner, and bonus gifts. So what I'm going to do from now until September 1st, I want to give some shit away to you. So I'm going to give away some of my old courses that I've done, some of my retired stuff that I've done, stuff that I've done workbooks on. I want to give away stuff. But what you have to do, so in order for you to receive this, and I'm going to do it in like prize 1, prize 2, grand prize, whatever. What you got to do is you got to register. You got to follow through, basically. You got to register by putting your name and email, right? Get the information. You got to show up for the workshop. You got to show up for the workshop. You got to stay through the whole workshop and interact in the workshop. And then finally follow through with the call to action that you're going to be given at the end of the workshop. So if somebody shows up for the workshop, they registered and they showed up, but they didn't stay and they didn't do the other, so they'll get like a certain prize, but they won't get like the grand prize. But this is to entice you, because I love you and I want you to master you trusting yourself. Because when you trust yourself, and this is part of the healing process, right? It's one of the 4 core pillars that I teach my clients, private and in group. Trust, how to trust yourself. What would your life be like if you trusted yourself? What possibilities would flourish if you trusted yourself, right? And we're going to talk about that people pleasing, because I know that's a big factor for you. I know people pleasing is like, I've been a people pleaser all my life. I don't know how to show up for myself. And that's part of the not trusting yourself, because trusting yourself would be showing up for yourself. And if you're constantly showing up for everybody else because you're a people pleaser, and this is the behavior that you've learned, remember, these are behaviors you learned, just like the example I gave you about the trust, then guess what? You can unlearn it. You can unlearn it. So when the link is ready, the link will be ready either today or tomorrow. When the link is completely ready, I will post it in the comments below. I will give it to you. And like I said, all you have to do, I do have a 1 minute, almost 2 minute video. I would love for you to listen to. But all you have to do is put your name and your email address and hit yes, show me how, and you're in. Okay. And we're doing this September 1st. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to go for 3 hours. It's an intense workshop. I dive really deep, and you're going to need a couple of supplies for this workshop, but you'll get all of that in the emails when you register. So don't worry about it. All you have to do is put your name and your email address in the link that I share with you, and the rest will come to you. So don't worry about any of what all the stuff that you need and all that. The prizes will be there. How far you get will determine on which prize you get. I'm excited. I'm so excited to do this workshop. And in fact, I've never done this workshop in this way before. So I'm really excited to give my stuff away, because I mean, ladies, it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there. And one of my coaches was like, why don't you give stuff away to like entice them, right? Because I know life gets in the way. All right, I'm going to stop there. I love you so much. This is part 1 of our series of how to spot a narcissist on our Tuesday lunch lessons. Again, if you want to show up and get one-on-one coaching, you have to join by Zoom and request it, of course. Let me know. And I would love to coach you. I would love to coach you. All right, my loves, have an amazing day. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.